Mr. Martinez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have a bond violation report where it's alleged that you have consumed alcohol when we have ordered you not. No, that if I find, I will put you in a, do you understand? If you are unable to stop, I am giving you the opportunity now. If you are not able to do it, we are going to do it my way. And I promise you, you're not going to like the way that I do it. On this probation, if you do not have a license, you are not allowed to drive. If I find that you drive, you're looking at up to a year in jail. I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to have a hearing. And if they prove to me that you violate any of these conditions, you are looking at an entire year in custody. Not only that, but if you are not in this country with permission and you go to jail and you do anything more than 4 to 5, 6 hours, immigration sweeps it on a daily basis. You already know what the administration is doing to undocumented persons. So if you're not here, you best be on living with a halo above your head. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement with me today, you either complete it successfully and you go on your merry way, or you violate this, we issue a warrant and you're looking at up to a year in jail. It is a 1-year jail sentence. I will probate it for 2 years. For you to successfully complete this thing, you must do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what conditions you may need. This doesn't say DWI education class. I'm assuming it's supposed to be a DWI education class,
Yes,
right?
Judge, it's supposed to be a DWI class.
This needs to be refiled.
We'll refile it, Judge.
Are you wanting a victim impact panel?
Yes, Judge, we'll refile it today.
None of that on here.
I think what happened was Bernadette was here and she had looked at everything. And they said that because there's going to be whatever the TRS conditions are, I think she actually had Kelsey remove those. Is that right?
Wait, is this a second or something?
No, it's not a second. He has a pending one out of Tarrant County. That was in 2019. He was placed,
That's an open DWI right
not
now?
anymore. He is on a deferred adjudication for 22 months out of Tarrant County. He started on January 6th last month. So he had 2 firsts is what's going on. And that's why after talking to Bernadette, that's why we did 24
And
months.
he's testing positive for alcohol now? He tested positive for alcohol at 1:45 in the morning.
Should I anticipate the TRS recommending civil court?
Oh, this is a second bond violation report.
And that's why
It's a second
2-year.
bond violation. He has an open DWI in another county, and now he's consuming alcohol.
Judge, the first one was from 2019 and he didn't have court until they didn't realize or didn't come to anyone's attention until he got this one. Then the officer told him, you have something open in Tarrant County, you may want to contact them. That's when he contacted them and then he told them, yeah, come to court for that. So it kind of fell by the wayside. I don't know what
That's
happened.
it for something. You get about a list of documents this high from lawyers advertising to you that you have an open case. I have to imagine that he knew about the open DWI in Tarrant County. Now he picks up another DWI. Now we're on a second bond violation report.
He's on probation over there now, Judge, and he'd be on a 2-year probation here.
This is not a good deal, man. I think that we're setting him up.
I think once he does the TRAS and if they recommend civil court, which they most likely will, I think he'll be getting the help that he needs. I mean, he's 25 years old. So he understands that he'll have to,
I think that I would prefer to do it first, you know?
what do you mean?
Do the TRAS first so we know exactly what, because I mean, I would require, because of the nature, I'm going to do a repeat offender DWI education class number 1. I had no idea that he has an open one. Now he's got 2 BVRs. I don't think I'm ready to do this today.
Right.
Not only that, you're on your second bond violation. you're continuing to consume alcohol and you have an open DWI in another county. It's unacceptable.
Well, that one's closed now, Judge. He's on probation.
I understand.
He's on probation.
But he's on probation. I mean, he's had it open. He's now on probation. And a week ago, he's consuming alcohol still.
Right.
Let him go. I can't do it again, man.
Judge,
I understand that you have to zealously advocate for your client, but it's time. No,
what he was telling me was, and he showed me the paperwork, that the day after the alleged violations, when he was reporting to his probation officer, he doesn't understand how he would have tested positive when they would have tested him the next day. In fact, he actually got tested recently for drug testing. So they're drug testing him there and for alcohol. So I'm just letting you know what.
I have a scram. He's still testing positive for alcohol. It's unacceptable what's going on with you, Mr. Martinez. No, I'm not ready to take this deal now. And I think that
My only concern is if he goes in, as you know, with this administration, he's not coming out.
consequences, man. Actions have consequences, Mr. Martinez. You know that. You continue to do whatever you want to do. You continue to consume alcohol. You continue to put other lives in danger. It's unacceptable. Sorry, Marcos.
I'm trying to,
I know you are, but there's 2 open DWIs. He's on a second bond violation. It's not fair that I don't hold him accountable like I do every single other person here. I can't curry favor just because he may be undocumented. It's not fair,
I understand.
Yeah, I'm revoking your bond, dude. You're going to jail.
But if he's gonna be evaluated, and most likely he'll get treatment, which is what he needs. Putting him in custody, he's not gonna get the
No
treatment.
matter what we're doing, no matter what conditions I have bent over backwards not to put you in jail. You literally had another DWI open, did not put you in jail. You have 1 bond violation report. I did not put you in custody. Now you have a second. It's now time to pay. I can't let you go again because I need you to understand that we mean business and you're not getting it. Even that you're on probation, you have an open DWI here. You still consuming alcohol. I'm sorry, Marcos. You're going to jail. It goes with you. Marcos, it doesn't make me happy. Dude.
I understand.
But
Get it.
that's it.
Pero ¿cuándo era? Vamos atrás.
Ms. Bennett, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for 1. You need to understand that this charge is going to go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's going to be there, it's even there after you die. This is important because you ever get pulled over again, officers, all they do is they look at your background. And if they see a lengthy background, it's just not going to go well for you. It doesn't matter if you're falling down, piss ass drunk. No, the mere smell of alcohol or dope, you will probably be looking at another DWI. What we're doing today, from now on, here in Harris County, or in Texas, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. Do you understand? No more proverbial slaps on the wrist. So if I were you, whatever you're going to do, don't get into a car because it's a humongous liability that you're in a risk that you're taking. What Max is asking me to do is to take off around $3,500 worth of fines and fees. The idea is that we all make mistakes, right? But you can't keep making mistakes where you endanger other people's lives. It's not fair. When it's so easy to hit one damn button on your phone for $30 to $40, you have a car waiting to take you anywhere you want to go on this. I want you to understand one more thing. It's unacceptable the way that you have been treating us here in court. You were ordered to get an interlock. You have not had an interlock since August. Not.
Judge, she did have it installed. There was
If it's in lockout,
I understand, and there was
it's as
issue with the money and all that, but yes, sir, we understand.
you don't wait if
You
you.
communicated with me, I didn't realize there was another option, Judge, and so I'm definitely taking the heat on that. So I came in to see if we could.
I'm not going to let you. You are old enough to know that if you're ordered to have an interlock and it's not functioning, you're going to upset a judge. Do you understand? Just,
I'm gonna have to speak on that one, okay?
Yes.
Because I definitely communicate.
Let me know.
I said, I've been employed my whole life. When this stuff started happening, especially with the stuff with the other situation that happened going on, I let him know that I can no longer afford it. I didn't know there was another option.
And I neither, I told her we need.
but
And I
since
have not-
August, she's been in lockout, Max.
I have not drove, I Ubered everywhere I've been.
It's true.
I have.
And I helped her with that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm selfish responsibility for it, and I just don't want you to think that I just deliberately disobeyed an order. I didn't have a choice, and I communicated it with him. And I'm taking full responsibility. So for you to tell me that, oh yeah, I mean I am old enough.
If you
and I
see,
understand.
the lawyer has been notified and still nothing is coming of it, you got to come to court, you know? When you have an interlock, it's supposed to be operational. And when it's not, that's a bond violation and it's a continued one, you know?
I understand.
I'm
taking full responsibility.
preparing you for the future, you know?
Yes.
Hopefully there is none, but you can't keep it.
Before all of this and the federal thing, she'd never been in trouble before. So this has been like.
No, I have an assault from 2010. I've got an ag assault in 2009. I've got a gun case in 24, you know? So it's not our first rodeo. It's not.
Okay.
And just,
She's like really upset about
the idea is we all make mistakes, like I told you, but don't make a mistake. I'm sorry. It's not a mistake. They're actions that you take, and you're old enough to know that actions have consequences, right? Especially when you're dealing with alcohol and a 3,000 to 5,000 pound missile that you're in. You could cause catastrophic injury, and that's what we're trying to prevent.
Understood.
All right. I am going to waive the fines and fees now, but you need to understand on a second offense, it's a minimum of $6,000 in surcharges and fines and fees if you pick up another DWI. So when people continue to make actions where they endanger other people's lives, it gets extremely expensive, not to mention costly with jail time. You understand? The agreement you've worked out is 3 days in jail, credit for the 1 day that you've done. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement today, you can never change your mind. You can't say, well, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know this. Once you plead guilty, it stays like this forever. Do you understand? You still want to do this? How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to it. I'm going to waive your costs, your fines and fees. There is a license suspension that is attached to this. I am going to suspend your license. I'm going to suspend it for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck, man. Thanks, Max. Please see the clerk.